So what is going on, guys, and welcome to the very first episode of our new series. So let me explain myself. Why Valencia? So what I wanted to do in this series is do something a little bit different. Normally we do a road to glory, we do different things, so like it's a journey that we go on. With this, what I want to do is do something a little bit different. I want to go ahead and do a career mode that pretty much has no rules. So I can do whatever I want. And the only rule that I'm going to pretty much say is that at the end of each season, I will put out a vote to you guys, the viewers, to decide whether I stay at the club for another season or whether I go elsewhere and go to England, go to France, go to Italy. What my idea is with this career mode is basically do a Jose Mourinho type thing. Start at one club, build ourselves up, and go into and turn ourselves into the most renowned manager, kind of like a Jurgen Klopp, like a Pep Guardiola, that obviously started off at big clubs. They started off at Porto, at Barcelona, at Borussia Dortmund. So they've all started at big clubs. And that's what we want to do. We want to try and replicate, I wouldn't say replicate their career mode. I'm going to say replicate their journey. But we're going to do it with different sides. We want to be going around the world, obviously around Europe. And the reason we want to be going around Europe is because we want to be pretty much taking on the biggest sides there are. So we want to be manager of, like as you can see from this group here, this is a perfect example. We want to be manager of Roma. We want to be manager of Dortmund. Obviously not Leverkusen as well as Dortmund. I mean, you never know. We might do like two different clubs in the same country. You never know how it's going to go. So that's just my plan for this career mode. I know it might not work. It might work. I don't know. What I've decided to do though is set up this, and you guys will be able to choose. You'll be able to vote. I will set up a mini vote if you think it's a good idea. It was simply a yes and no. And you guys can go ahead and vote if you think it's going to be a good idea. The only reason I wanted to do something a little bit different rather than just a mega long series. Obviously, this is going to be a long series, don't get me wrong. But hopefully it's going to be with several different clubs. Whereas for the likes of my Portsmouth career mode, first of all, the support on the Portsmouth career mode is fantastic. But I know there's some people that get a little bit bored throughout the series because it's just continuous. It's always with Portsmouth. Obviously, we're now like 40 episodes in, which isn't that much to be honest. But we're 40 episodes in, and a lot of you want to see something new. So I think the only way that you guys are going to see something new is by doing another series. Because I want to continue with the Portsmouth one. And I want to see, obviously, try and win the Premier League. Try and win all of this different stuff with them. But at least with this career mode, it gives us some more versatility. We can go ahead. We start with money. We can go ahead and bring some big players in. I don't know. Let me know what you think about the idea. But let's see how we get on in this episode. So having a look at the emails here, obviously we've got the International Cup, we've got shirt sales, which obviously we're going to have a look at now because they are basically our objectives. So for the youth development, they want us to sign one youth player to the senior team in the same season they were scouted and play them in 10 matches, either part of the starting 11 or coming onto the sub. They want us to grow one youth academy player by at least 5 overall points. As soon as they have grown, play them in 5 matches, which we will definitely do. Brand exposure, gain 120 million from shirt sales. They want us to reach a semi-final of the Champions League, which is a massive, massive ask, but we'll give it our best. The domestic success, they want us to finish in a Champions League space, and they want us to reach the round of 16 in the Copa de España. And the financial, there is no objectives for a financial, so that's great news for us. But we're going to have a look at a few players that I want to bring into the club, and let's see if we can bring some in. So these are the players that we would like to bring in. We got Sandro Tonali, we've got Fiaca Tomori, we've got Jonathan David from Genk, we've got Havertz, who looks fucking fantastic, and we've got Lautaro Martinez. So these are the guys that we are looking at bringing in. They're all very, very good players, and I'm thinking Havertz is definitely a player that I would go for. He looks fantastic, but I'm thinking Lautaro Martinez is a very good player as well. So we're going to put in some bids and just see what happens, really. So, Leverkusen have now accepted a bid for Havertz. And it was 67.5 million plus Ezekiel Garay. It is good money. Do not get me wrong, it's very good, but it's a lot of money. But I think we were looking for the one star player. And I think Havertz could be it. He could be the star player for us. I know it's a lot of money, but obviously he is going to be one of the world's best players. We're going to offer him a crucial deal. We're going to offer him a 5-year deal because he's only 20 years of age. Hopefully he'll accept that, which he does. We're going to disregard the release clause, obviously. Okay, he wants 150 million release clause in his thing, which we will accept that because whatever, fine. And then he only wants 44,500 a week, which isn't bad when he's currently on 70k. He wants a signing bonus of 430 and 1 million, which we'll accept that. Havertz has joined the club on a ginormous deal. That is a massive, massive deal. And if we look at this guy here, I mean, he is definitely going to be our star player. Like, we've obviously got Gonzalo Guedes as well, but Havertz, look at that. 20 years old, and he's 84 rated. He can play cam, he can play right mid. He's got good pace, he's got good acceleration, good sprint speed. And this guy, he's got finesse shot, long passer, long shot taker, outside of the foot, technical dribbler. This guy is just, wow, he's an insane player. And I think that is going to be a really, really good signing for us. So we've got the first game of the Cup as it's going to be against Roma at home. Well, it's not really at home. It's in the International Cup, wherever it's played. And we end up losing the game by 2-0, which is a little bit disappointing, actually. We wanted to try and progress in this. We've actually not done too well in our first game. But either way, I mean, the Cup's not majorly important. The only thing it's important for is extra money. But as you can see here, Inter Milan have come in for Carlos Soler, and we're going to go ahead and negotiate. The reason I'm accepting the Carlos Soler bid, I know he's a good player, but I do have him in my Portsmouth career mode, and I want to try and keep the players a little bit separate. And because Carlos Soler is new for a lot of you guys in my Portsmouth career mode, we want to try and, I don't know, just see what we can do and try and use some new players. So we want 35.8 million for Soler, and they're saying their final offer is 24.8. We're going to counter it, and we're going to, they want, let's say, propose a new fee. Let's say 28 million, and let's see if we can push Inter Milan that little bit extra. And they are willing to give us 28.8 million for Carlos Soler. So it looks like he could be out the club, and that might be able to free up a little bit of funds now for us to go ahead and bring in another player. So for the second game in the Cup, we're going to be taking on Leverkusen, and Leverkusen actually beat Dortmund. So if we lose this, it looks like we could be out, and we've won it. Kondogbia with a goal and Rodrigo with 2. So that's great news for us. Guedes, Gamera and Coquelin all come on the pitch as well. So it's good to see that a lot of players are getting some game time, and that is exactly what we want. So having a look at some more emails, 25.5 million's been allocated because Carlos Soler has been sold. Ed Baker is congratulating us. We also got a bid for, or that's already the bid we had anyway, and we got a player chat from Torres. I know you will eventually be looking for a replacement winger, but I think I can fit the role if you give me a chance. Mate, definitely. We are going to be looking at someone else, but I do think that you will definitely be able to do well for us. So the last game, which is pretty much a must-win for us, because if Leverkusen get the result against Roma, we do not go through. So we have to beat Dortmund if we want to progress, and we do. Rodrigo picks up 2 and Gomez picks up a goal. So our 2 strikers both scoring, and it's good to see that both strikers are in hot form going into the season. The semi-finals actually against Everton, funny enough. We get an extra 2 million there. So hopefully if we can beat Everton, we will progress a bit more, and then we should be able to do something. We've got an offer for Gamero, which I think we will let go. 14 million isn't too bad for him. Actually, they've offered 15.3 million. He's valued at 14 million. He's currently, what is he? 32 years old. He's quite old. I know he's an iconic player at Valencia, but Kevin Gameiro isn't really in the long-term plans. So what we're hoping is to try and get 18.3 for him. We want to push the boundaries a little bit, and let's see what they say. And pretty much that's what they said. Porto said they're going to match it, and it looks like Kevin Gameiro could be on his way out of the club, as we also had a bid for Rodrigo, which we straight out rejected. We did not want to see the player leave the club. We've got another one, a transfer offer for Piccini from Leipzig. He's a right back. We're going to delegate. We want a lot of money for him. He's kind of in our plan. So we're going to say 26 to 17 million for Piccini, see if he leaves or not. I mean, I'm thinking of bringing in someone like Wan-Bissaka as a right back, a right wing back, as someone that can really pose a threat going forward. And that's someone that I would really be looking at bringing in. We now got the game against Everton in the semi-final, and we end up winning that one. Torres and Havertz picks up his first goal. But for me, that doesn't mean that's his debut. As you guys know me, I will not have him have his debut unless I'm playing or controlling him, I would say. So as you can see here, Gameiro has been sold and we've been allocated 15.5 million. And transfer talks for Dani Parejo and Puccini have broken down as neither club wanted to meet neither club wanted to meet the demand we were asking for, which was a lot of money. Dani Parejo, for example, was saying he wasn't going to accept anything under 100 million. We end up losing in the final here, Aubameyang and Ceballos with the goals, and unfortunately we couldn't go all the way, but that's not too bad. Simming the games, we got all the way to the final, so we are happy with that. So we've offered Francis Coquelin, and they want 11 million plus him for Sandro Tonali. We're going to counter offer it and propose a new transfer fee, and we're going to try and get him for, say, 7.5. And let's see if they'll accept that one, because Coquelin was a decent player, and yeah, they are happy with that offer. It looks like we could be bringing in Tonali. I know he's only like 70, he's a few ratings lower than Francis Coquelin, but then he's 19 years age. He's more than 10 years younger than Francis Coquelin. I know that there's a different thing going on. We're going to give him an important rotation. Let's try rotation, see what he says. Hopefully he doesn't get pissed off. Yeah, that's what they're hoping for, which is good. That covers our back a little bit. 5 years suits us to a T as well. And now they want a release clause. We don't want a release clause. Let's deny the release clause, and hopefully they will accept that. We can move forward, but keep in mind we'll adjust our demand accordingly. That is perfectly fine. I mean, you only want bloody 13,000 a week, mate. That is perfectly fine. We did not want to include a fee in that because we knew full well that a player of his quality will definitely get 50 million put on the table straight away. So, this is actually really good news. We had a talk with Frank Lampard. We flew over to England. We basically inquired about Callum Hudson-Odoi. And they said they wanted money for him, obviously. We said, look, we'll give you Ruben Sobrino and we'll give you some money. And they're saying Ruben Sobrino they do want, and they want 7 million. We're going to propose a new transfer fee, and we're going to say we'll give you 5 million plus Sobrino for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi is going to be the low 70s, but he's got a hell of a potential on him. So we're going to negotiate with him as well, and hopefully we'll be able to pull off a massive deal for the young English international. So also the plan is, guys, that when and if we move to a different team, what we're going to do is we're going to take our crucial players with us. So it's more like what Mourinho does with like Nemanja Matic and that, where they want the star players to follow them around. Then obviously we need to figure out which is going to be our star players at the club. We're thinking Havertz is probably going to be one of them. Maybe Callum Hudson-Odoi could also be one. Stuff like that we are going to definitely be looking at to try and make into that big thing. It's going to be player following manager, if you get me. So we've got yet another transfer offer for Rodrigo. He's in hot form. And also Genk have inquired for a loan deal of Jonathan David. So that's a good deal that they could pull off for a loan. We're not really looking for for Jonathan David anymore. We're going to delegate, and we just want stupid money for Rodrigo. We're not going to be letting him go unless they're going to be paying big money for him. I know he's 28 years of age, but he is a very good player. We don't really want to see him leave the club. Guys, it could, or it does look like we're going to pull off a massive deal for James Maddison. We've offered Cheryshev plus money, and they're saying yes, but we're trying to get it down a little bit. They want a sell-on clause. We're going to try and get him for straight up 40 million. So 40 million plus Cheryshev for James Maddison. What a deal this could be if we could pull it off. And it looks like they are saying yes. We're going to go ahead and negotiate with him. And James Maddison is actually very versatile. He can play at centre attacking midfield. He can play CM. He could probably even play CDM if you really wanted to. But he can also play on the left wing. So he's very versatile. Of course, he's going to have a crucial role in the club. I'm not saying he's going to be starting every single game, but he will be starting a lot of games. We're going to offer him a 4-year deal. He might reject that. No, he's happy with that one. Definitely, we don't want a release clause. He wants a release clause, but we want to deny it. We really don't want a release clause. Can we move on? Yes, we can move on. His wage is probably going to be a lot of money, and I don't really know what to offer him. So I'm thinking 75k a week. That's what I'm thinking for James Maddison. We're going to submit it, and this could go horribly wrong now. They might just... No, that's a fair offer. So James Maddison's joined the club as well. So before we end this episode, we're going to have a look at the money we've got left, which is 1.62 million. But we're going to have a look at the players that we have brought in. So we've got a very strong squad now. So obviously we've got Silerson, we've got Was on the right. We probably need a new right back. So we're going to look at a right back in the next episode. We've got Diakabi, good centre-back. We've got Paulista, good centre-back. And we've got Jose Gaya, who's very good at left-back as well. We've got Kondogbia and Parejo at CDM, both of the pair of them. We've got Havertz at Cam. We've got Ferran Torres at Cam. Then we've got Rodrigo and we've got Gomez. But we've got Guedes on the bench, 83 rated. We've got Maddison on the bench, 82 rated. So they're two players that need to be playing, and we need to find a formation that's going to fit both of them into the club. I'm actually thinking of dropping either Rodrigo or Gomez for Maddison. It's even that extreme. We've got Lee here, who has potential to be special. This guy looks fucking fantastic. Well, he's got an exciting prospect. 770 rated, only 18 years of age. And then we've got Tonali here. We've also brought him into the club, 19 years of age. He can play CDM and CM, so very versatile. And he's going to be getting a lot of game time. And then we've got Callum Hudson-Odoi, 18 years of age. He can play up top as well. Even though it doesn't state that he can, he's a left wing and right wing, but he can definitely play up front. But that is in fact going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed it, then obviously hit the like button down below. And guys, can we try and smash that like button for the new episode of our new series, and also comment down below. Even if you don't like the new idea, let me know in the comment section down below. I really am intrigued, and to be honest with you, I'm really looking forward for this career mode running alongside the Portsmouth one. They are both going to work together, and we will get plenty of episodes up a week of both career modes. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon, or later on today for the Portsmouth career mode, and probably tomorrow for the Valencia career mode. Thank you. Bye-bye.